All right. Hey, everybody. It's a logistics report this week. Picked up a couple of things from Noble Knight and from Wargame Vault. And we're going to go through what I picked up here. Um, Noble Knight, if you're not aware, is like just an incredible place where you can find all sorts of stuff. Obviously, they've got, the discount and all of that and free shipping with over 150 bucks. I sound like I'm shilling, but I've been shopping there for years. One of the things that's really cool about them though is that they have stuff that's out of print and hard to find sometimes. So it's really awesome if you're looking to collect something, find something that's maybe a little bit harder to find and not quite. You don't want to use eBay or something like that. Anyway, I played a few games of Rebel Fury with a friend of mine over the last couple of weeks, and it got me in a Civil War mood. And of course, the 4th of July, that couple of days leading up is the anniversary of the Gettysburg, Battle of Gettysburg. So I watched the movie Gettysburg. Really got me in a Civil War mood. And I picked up a couple of things. Diverting from my World War II focus, and I don't even have any Civil War minis, American Civil War minis, so shame on me. But I did pick up a bunch of rule sets and things that were related, and then a few things that maybe a little bit different. So, the first thing I picked up was Across a Deadly Field here, by John Hill, published by Osprey Publishing. This is a large-scale Civil War miniatures game where a base is going to have a number of figures, and each of those figures represents about 60 men, and so a regiment might be anywhere from 2 to 3 stands is kind of, I think, the recommendation. I did pick up the rules in PDF form also on Wargame Vault, and I'll get to that. But reading through these, and we'll see if I ever get it to the table or anything like that. But having a good read through on this, and then related to that, okay, there's a couple of additional books to support Across a Deadly Field. There's this one, The War in the East, which of course covers the Eastern Theater. And I'm really interested in this because of the ability to, if I never play Across a Deadly Field, at least I've got a couple of battle reports, right? Orders of battle, lay of the land, that kind of a thing. And then there's also an separate, supplement for the war in the West. Thinking. Out there in the Mississippi Valley, Tennessee, maybe, Sherman's March, that kind of a thing. So, even if I don't actually wind up setting up a force or a couple of forces or getting this game to the table, I think as a reference, this is probably a pretty good, set of books to pick up. Okay, continuing with the Civil War theme here, I've got With Hot Lead and Cold Steel. This is also by Osprey Publishing and written by Arthur van der Steer. I've also started reading this, and it's it handles infantry regiments in a tiny, small, medium, large format. With a number of stands representing it. And I think it's, as I recall, it's something like a 1 to 8 range or 1 to 6 range, something like that. So it's a little bit bigger, a little more units than Across a Deadly Field. It's obviously a little bit lighter. It's one of the typical blue books that Osprey Publishing puts out, and it looks like it's a little bit easier to get into. There's fewer modifiers and that sort of a thing. Still reading through this as well, though. And then, sticking with Civil War, Brigade Fire and Fury by Fire and Fury. There is a few supplements for this, like an Eastern and Western theater. I think the Eastern is, one of them is first edition only. This is the second edition of Fire and Fury, and then one of the theater supplements was republished. I don't have either of those. This is all I've got. Obviously, this is Brigade level. There's a Regimental Fire and Fury, and then Regimental Fire and Fury has a couple of annual supplements, so like 1861, 1862, 1862, 1863, something like that. Not the whole war done. Obviously, I have to think that the bases are regimental in nature and that. I haven't read any of this, so I don't know what I'm getting myself into a whole lot. What I do know, though, is that I've looked at a couple of the sort of freebie support scenarios that they have online, and stands are like number in the hundreds potentially. So it seems like a very serious game. It's very popular. It's probably one of the most well-regarded Civil War miniatures games. But the sheer number of figures means I'm probably not going to get it to the table for a while. I am interested in reading it, though. Like I said, it's well regarded. Regimental Fire and Fury is out of print, and I wasn't ready to to spill some cash on that yet. But we'll see. Hoping to look through this, read through it, and get an assessment of it in due course. Okay, Land of the Free. Land of the Free here. This is by Joe Crone, also an Osprey Publishing book. A little different from Civil War. This is the early Americas. So you're talking about French and Indian War, the Revolution, American Revolution, the War of 1812, and then the Northwest Indian Wars. I don't have a lot in this space, and so as I was looking and trying to build up $150 with Noble Knight for free shipping, I was like, this looks interesting. So I decided I would pick it up and take a look at it. It does do a similar similar means of basing miniatures as with Hot Lead and Cold Steel. So there's a small, medium, large, tiny concept, that kind of a thing. I haven't dived into this really, other than sort of the introduction, but really looking forward to expanding my understanding of this period. It's pretty fascinating for me, but no miniatures for this either. This is mostly reading material at this point and scoping out whether or not I want to get into such a theater. And then finally, from Osprey Publishing and on the Noble Knight pickup here, this is the U.S. Army in World War II in the Mediterranean. I have the Western Europe book, and looking to add to my, this is mostly a color palette thing. The 15 mil figs that I picked up are applicable to both the Mediterranean, like the Italian campaign in particular, and the early Normandy, Operation Cobra, that sort of a thing. And so just getting a good understanding of those forces, orders of battle, and the color palette for the uniforms. I was just interested in picking this up. This was probably the gratuitous purchase that pushed me over the free shipping limit, but interested in this nonetheless. Okay, in addition to this stuff, I picked up several PDFs on Wargame Vault during their summer sale. So I think I mentioned Across the Deadly Field. I picked up that PDF. That got me, started on the reading of that early on. And I also picked up PDFs with Hot Lead and Cold Steel and Land of the Free that I got physical copies of. I also got a PDF copy of the Black Ops Tactical Espionage Wargaming, published by Osprey Publishing, one of their blue books. That one looked interesting to me. I kind of like that TAC Ops style of concept. So I decided to pick that up and take a look at that. I haven't really dived into it. I also picked up Baga 6mm Publishing Limited, their Polemos, American Civil War. And I read through, they have 2 rules that I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. 2 sets of rules. One which is a smaller regimental sized, and another one that's brigade sized as far as like the maneuver elements go. And I read through the regimental maneuver book rules. Cannot remember again what they're called. Hoping to get a review of that. And then from Rebel Minis, it's Ed Teixeira, I think, is the designer of these games, and he's done things like Nuts and 5150, a couple of other games. He's got a style that's pretty consistent and a rule set that's pretty consistent. Picked up Long Rifle, 2nd edition, in Muskets and Mohawks. So Long Rifle is it's sort of like a skirmish game / role-playing game light. Think of Last of the Mohicans, that sort of a thing. And then Muskets and Mohawks is the skirmish rules for like a small unit action type of thing. From Retro Boom, I picked up Hail of Fire. The game is free on Wargame Vault. It's one of those games that you pay $0 for, and if you like it, come back and tip them some, give them a little love. It's a World War II, looks like maybe a platoon level game, with the maneuver elements being platoons, something like that, and it looks like it's designed to maybe reuse your Flames of War miniatures in another way. Very small, light rule set, 16 to 20 pages, something like that. So I'm going to get a read of that soon and maybe get some assessment of the rules. And then from Pendragon Miniatures, Blitzkrieg Commander IV, Cold War Commander II. These are, again, also smaller scale, like 6mm, I think, or maybe 10mm figures with a stand representing a platoon. So, the action is maybe a battalion or, a regiment or a brigade, something in that size. I can't remember exactly how large. Anyway, it's been on my wish list for a while, so I'm hoping to get to that and read those and see if they're of interest to me. On the list is also things like O Group, and I also have GHQ's micro armor, things of that scale, sort of the next level up. Anyway, a lot to read. Obviously, no miniature figs update with this video, but just wanted to share some of the new information, new games picked up, and new interest in this American Civil War and some of the other things. And anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for watching.